Version1 trying to continue the momentum they've been building after now qualifying for the London Major, Turtle, but Faze stands in their way, and you heard Leaf say it right before we got here. Only one Grand Finals appearance, and that Grand Final they won, but that was with Illusion the whole way back in the fall. It's going to be a good one, best of 7.
I'm going to have to agree with Subi in terms of seeing Beast Mode pop off. I think they're going to need a lot of firepower on offense because, of course, you're up against FaZe Clan, and it's an interesting matchup. I think the V1 defense can definitely stand tall and block a lot of these shots that I'd say an average team would struggle to find a save. And as I say that, First Killer almost puts a lightning bolt in from the left-hand side, and those are the types of shots that you're going to see and expect against FaZe Clan, Jorby. The question is, do V1 have what it takes to stop those shots and also develop something special on offense?
I am surprised not one person picked Version1. That one off the post and in for AJ. FaZe will score first. Just like that, 40 seconds in, Turtle.
And this is exactly what you would want to see from FaZe Clan. A bunch of shots, as many as possible, with several follow-ups. And a lot of times for FaZe Clan, they can struggle with that follow-up. Somebody isn't always in position to crash the net. You'll see somebody be very aggressive or be that first man, putting in a lot of work, and then you don't get anybody to follow it up. A FaZe Clan, at least in this tournament, in my opinion, have been very well organized on the offensive front. They know how to follow each other's shots up because that's the main thing. If First Killer's doing all this work, doing all this damage on offense, you just need to have somebody in position. That's been their biggest struggle, and for me, they fixed that in this tournament.
I absolutely agree with you. I think something that FaZe have kind of been characterized as a team of a bunch of solo players and no team effort. But I truly believe that hasn't been true for a long time. And Beast Mode puts this one in. He did it all himself, checking one FaZe player out of the way.
Yeah, this is just one straight up uppercut into the face of the defender, knocks him out the way, and then you've got a free shot and slots it into the corner. Jorby, this is what we were talking about in the green room. You wanted to mention a lot of the demo games, a lot of the physicality that Version1 we're going to bring. Do you think that's enough to at least go the distance in this series for V1?
I think, well, I don't know. If they keep letting shots in like this,
oh man,
they might not have a chance to. Get rolled off this ball. Typical puts it high, and AJ's for free gonna get this shot. Torment up the back wall. You see him. You saw him come across. He knew that pass was coming. He didn't feel confident he could get to that ball in time before it got to AJ, and unfortunately for him, AJ slotted it perfectly.
Yeah, that's just a weird one, especially with all the space that AJ had. Nobody decided to challenge Torment, thinking that it'd be a smarter decision to stay on the backboard. But the more patient you are against FaZe Clan, sometimes that can be your own demise, Jorby. If you let them take shots, the speed and power they can get, it doesn't matter if you're in position in the goal line. You're not going to save it.
Well, that's why that physical game might be so important for Version1, right? If they have that trouble with FaZe and giving them space, calm, kicking that ball back away to Torment. I mean, Version1 also yesterday had some issues against Space Station in particular, and they actually got outboxed in that game. So if that isn't working to fruition for them, they may have continued struggles. But both teams still trying to find their flow right now as Beast Mode whips around, but First Killer gonna stay right with him.
And this might be the FaZe Clan that finally makes that grand final run in the spring split that I feel like everybody's been so eagerly waiting for. They have, of course, the potential, the mechanics. It's all been connecting, but they haven't been able to go the distance in a tournament, and this is by far the best we've seen FaZe Clan look, I'd say, in what, ever?
I certainly think they look great, but I don't know if best ever? Yeah, but like I don't think that the margin is very wide there. Like this team is not placed outside of the top 4. They're ridiculously consistent, but it's the drive with Typical after they added him to the roster, and sometimes it hasn't really worked out on defense for the team. Sometimes you see the double commit, but sometimes you see First Killer hitting a nasty fake and getting the 3rd goal.
Now this is just painful. You don't even want to watch this one back. Calm. You don't even, you just close your eyes. Please don't watch First Killer humiliate you on that one. The mind game, throwing you to the right side of the ball. You don't even get a touch on it. And that is the First Killer we know and love, Dorby.
But that's why I really am agreeing with you, Turtle, is when we saw FaZe beat NRG and then we watched them beat G2, at that point you think, okay, this is something completely different. First Killer gets another goal. His second, him and AJ got a pair.
FaZe Clan, they're so consistent, especially in game ones. It seems like they always find a way to break down the defense and catch them off guard. And nobody expects FaZe Clan, for whatever reason, to have this type of firepower on offense, but it always works at the beginning of the series. And I'm going to have to go back to the desk and agree with Gibbs. I think FaZe Clan, of course, you know, you're going to want to close this one out early, but the longer you let V1 stay in this series, the more difficult it's going to be. They're going to be able to adapt. I expect a better game 2 out of V1 for sure, but man, FaZe Clan in game 1, they are really writing the script.
Version 1 have been one of the more resilient teams in North America. Even when they go down, and even when it looks like a team starts to download them, they're able to pull the game back. And how many game 5s and 7s have we seen Version 1 play? It used to be a curse, but now it almost feels like a boon for this team. They win a lot more game 7s than they used to, and that was a decent try at a save, and it was a better attempt the second time around. Beast mode, straight up stuffed the offense in front of the box. I'm not sure how much it's going to matter. You're still down by 3, but impressive save nonetheless.
That's got to be one of the craziest saves I think we've seen all tournament long. While they're down by 3 goals, still finding a way to keep that ball out. I hope we get to see it on the replay package, because that was some immaculate saving ability. And look at Calm now on the other side. Maybe there's a chance. 45 seconds, Jorby.
Calm's happy that this ball went in because he didn't get any power on it. He had no boost approaching that ball, and Typical could not get back in time. So just enough for Calm to get it done.
I want chaos. I want chaos.
Hey, man, you know me. I love chaos.
Let's go.
It might happen. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a good kickoff.
Calm rolls off the kickoff for Beast.
Let's go.
Typical. He's got the clear. Cut off. Really just talking about a goal with time left for Version 1.
Yeah.
Here's Torment. Got the pass over to Beast Mode, who wins the touch, but Calm was on the opposite side. Had the catch. First killer gets deleted, but Torment was still coming back on the rotations. A lot of time killed by FaZe Clan here. Beast Mode, one more. First killer stuffed it. Torment's got the shot, and he puts in another one, Turtle. Version 1 within 1.
Beast Mode, we asked the question, would he stand up to the challenge and start popping off on the offensive side? And look at what he does. He takes the ball all by himself. He had full boost, able to dribble it over 2 players and stuff the backboard challenge, setting up Torment. There's a chance. 18 seconds left. V1. We've seen crazier things happen, but they need to take advantage of it. The next drive they get on offense.
Oh, double commit. Beast Mode recovers.
Here we go.
Going to follow up behind him. Not a lot of boost here for Beast Mode. He gets chipped off the play. An attempted clear from FaZe, but Calm sees Torment. Torment got the catch, but the ball's too far away. Challenge. He can't get the dunk. FaZe Clan stave off Version 1 in the first game.
But you can't deny that V1 were gaining some momentum at the end of game 1, and this is why I expected game 2 is really where FaZe Clan need to put up a fight if they want to end this series early. And this is where you get the most difficult V1. They've learned how to demo a little bit more. They've downloaded your rotations, and they're figuring out where they can disrupt it. You saw at the end of this game, the demos and the 50-50s far superior than FaZe Clan. It felt like Version 1 were finally finding the groove of, okay, first killer is going to be rotating a little bit more aggressive. That's here. Now is our time to go for the third man. And like you said, that save, unbelievable stuff. If only they didn't start out a little bit poorly, we would have seen a different scoreline here, Jordan.
Well, I mean, like, that save really felt like it changed the nature of the game for Version 1, because the first part of that highlight package, you just see misses. The first one was a miss on the touch, and then Beast Mode gave up the touch in front of the box. Nobody was there to follow it up. And then the mistakes stopped happening as soon as Beast Mode gets that save, and they started to swing things in their favor. So maybe on Aquadome, things look a little bit different for Version 1.
And you see the ball kind of float towards the half of Version 1, where FaZe Clan had all this time in the world to figure out how they wanted to approach the net, when and how to use these mechanics as well. You can't give AJ that type of space. You can't give First Killer that type of space, and you certainly can't give Typical that type of space. Version 1, we'll see if they correct that, but with some demos from First Killer in the first 30 seconds, it might be difficult.
You certainly can't make any mistakes. AJ, wrap that ball back around. First Killer. Keeping it close, back to Typical. Beats another defender. First killer takes it himself. Beast Mode. Couldn't really recover nicely, but he does get back to the ball. Nobody from FaZe was immediately pressuring, pulling back off.
Yeah, much better rotations there from Beast Mode, though. He's getting in front of the challenges and getting in front of the shots, which nobody decided to do earlier on. Beast Mode going for a fake challenge against AJ, and it works out, being superior in the midfield. But here comes First Killer with plenty of boost to work with and a better 50-50 off the backboard. A lot of challenges coming out from both teams, Jorby.
Version 1 stretched a little bit. Calm's got less than 50. Beast Mode less than Well, he's not even using anything. He just stuffs AJ, trying to force that 50 out. Use the rest of his boost to do it. Version1 still stuck. Beast Mode gets a touch out. He's got a little bit more.
Oh,
no more in the tank. And maybe it's better to let that ball go.
Yeah.
Torment gets deleted. Version1 are back on defense.
Doing a little bit too much there on offense, Beast Mode. It was a lovely setup. There were 2 players behind him waiting for the shot, but he tried to do everything himself. But then the double tap attempt off the pole and out, and then AJ doesn't have the read. A big opportunity whiffed from Faze.
Well, Com forced AJ to jump early at the ball, and AJ might have been able to recover, as the ball did bounce very hard off the crossbar, but still, Com getting in the way. Now he's got to come up with a save, and he goes off the bar. Torment trying to dive for that ball. Faze still on offense. Another big clear from Com, but they need some presence in the neutral zone. Otherwise, it's just going to be Faze air dribbles. Here comes Typical, trying to get the bump in front. First killer got there. AJ gets over 1, got Torment to beat. Torment gets the ball out. Still Faze ball. Puts it down in front of the box. Beast Mode, another clear, and AJ's the whole way back. And Com will cut this off. Finally, Version1 can get some time in the orange half.
Yeah, and with those barrage of shots from Faze, that's where the true test comes out on the Version1 defense. If you've got several shots coming your way, getting organized is going to be the most difficult thing, Jorby, because you have to consistently find boost. And when you're getting starved out like Version1 are right now from Faze, getting somebody in that rotation to go for a challenge can be rather difficult, but they've stood up and answered to this challenge. Now more bumps against, let's see, First Killer in the backfield, and looks like Version1 are stabilizing, and so far, no goals coming out with all the shots we've seen from Faze Clan.
Oh, Com!
Oh!
He got the touch, but First Killer ended up missing the read, and that was a chance for Com, as boring as it might be to see First Killer just miss the touch there. So close for a Version1 goal, and what would have been the first lead, but here comes Faze, and it's saved again by Beast Mode, who dives back. How many times have we seen heroic saves from this entire team on Version1? It's part of what's made them so fun, and for Version1 fans, real scary to watch.
And more specifically from Beast Mode, I mean, this man isn't even rotating behind the ball. He's finding ways to get behind the ball with his jumps and using the delicate timing of the flip to get that ball out. I don't know how he continues to do it, but these aren't easy shots to save from Faze Clan either. They're difficult. They're on target. They've got some power. But V1, this is why we call them a defensive team, Joel, because they continue to find saves even under all of this pressure.
And another back pass from Com. Wrest that ball away from Faze, but Faze keep finding their way back to the ball. Version1 spending a lot of time in their half, and in fact, Turtle, as much as we've been praising their defense, it's less than a minute left. Version1 have 0 shots on net.
Yeah.
To the step.
I'm actually not that concerned for Version1 right now, to be honest with you. Like, while they're not putting any shots on target, this feels like one of those games where the defense is just turtling up on their own side and waiting for that perfect transitional opportunity where they can get 1, maybe 2 quick passes in, and you've got a wide open net because Faze Clan might get too desperate here.
A ball kicks out for Com. Doesn't have a lot of boost to work with here, and that 50 works out. Com rotates right back into it. High for Torment. What's he got in the tank? A hard touch, but ended up giving First Killer a chance at the 50. Just trading these aerial touches back and forth, and AJ might have just given it up.
That's what I'm worried about.
Get there first. Here comes the dunk attempt. Beast Mode's taken away. Back over to the corner. Torment got the touch, but he doesn't have the boost. Another big clear. Typical's downfield. Puts it up high. Typical drops it down. 0-0 overtime.
Oh my goodness. 2 very difficult shots put on both sides. Somehow managed to not even go in. We've got 6 seconds now passing into overtime, and the kickoff does go in favor of Faze Clan, but that's not to anybody's surprise. They've been controlling the game flawlessly. The question is, when will we get that final execution? When will they find that shot? Here comes Com, though, on the transition. One quick flick over the defender, but doesn't find the follow-up.
Torment trying to slow that one down, and then Faze end up double committing on the play. Beast Mode, but there's AJ on the backboard. As much as we were talking about Version1's defense, for when Faze have had to play defense, they've done so excellently. Limiting shots on net is literally the mark of a great defense, and that performance is certainly happening for Faze on Aquadome.
And I personally thought they were going to get too desperate, but we haven't seen that yet. Whenever they're rotating back, they find a way to recover, and they're not overextending too much. There's been a couple of moments where I've been a little bit concerned, but for the most part, they find recoveries quickly, and they're able to get everybody back on defense when they need to.
First killer trying to wrap around. He's got 150 under his belt. He's got 250s under his belt with Torment. Well, he has the champion's belt in terms of defense. Beast mode. Gonna push that one back out to the corner. Gets the demo to open up space. And AJ trying to slow it down. Torment got the 50. And it is a scrum whenever this ball gets into the neutral zone as to who's gonna get control of it. But no one can really seem to put real pressure on the other in this overtime, despite Version1 spending a lot of time in the blue half.
And this is ridiculous, too, because Version1 are prioritizing those rotations back to the net, which leaves a lot of 1v1 opportunities for FaZe Clan. And you're thinking, 1v1 opportunities for FaZe Clan? There's no way they don't answer that question and that challenge. Here comes First Killer with an absolute beauty of a shot, slipping it right under Torment.
Oh, in beast mode, the bounce ruins him on that play. He sees Torment going for the 50. Torment can't get there in time. First Killer got the break, and it's always First Killer, Turtle. Whenever FaZe need the clutch, First Killer is the guy to get it done. Time and again, this guy is leading the league in goals per game. This split, he is absolutely ridiculous. People are calling him, people are saying that he's in the MVP race for a reason. Now, they haven't made grand finals since they added Typical to the roster. But that's just how good First Killer has been, is that he's in that conversation. And if he keeps playing like this, he might start leading the race eventually.
And the thing about First Killer that is, it's so special of a trait to find in a player, and it's very rare, is that he can step up to the plate when his team needs him most. It's not random. It's not inconsistent. It feels like every time FaZe Clan don't have anybody else who wants to step up to the plate and really put in a solo play, First Killer is right there at the front lines, willing to 1v1, 1v2, 1v3 an entire team. And he's got the skill to do just that. We'll see if this trend continues throughout the rest of the series, and if they'll continue to rely on First Killer. Version1, it was a close game, but with only one shot in the last game, you need to put on more offensive pressure. I don't care how good your defense is. If you're stuck on your own half, eventually you will crumble, Jorby.
And credit to was about to say credit to AJ and Typical. Okay, AJ and Typical, get the credit there. They've played excellently in the series so far. They have been just as instrumental as First Killer in holding the neutral zone, setting up opportunities. FaZe is clicking like one well-oiled machine. That's why I think a lot of people are feeling good, or at least FaZe fans feeling good about this tournament more than any other tournament before. But Beast Mode wins a great 50 in midfield. Can they put it on? Torment, no shot for him. Beast Mode couldn't get a grab either.
And what a play there from AJ. I think Beast Mode was actually going for the mid-air bump play, and AJ called him out on it, didn't bite, and then ended up staying on the ground slowly to dodge the demo and still get the save. So I think First Killer and company, of course, are prepared for this physical gameplay that Version1 love to do.
Again, just the neutral zone still phases. Version1 take a little bit of time to get there, and then they get scored on, and there was nothing they could do as AJ approaches the midfield and the space. Exactly.
You saw how much space there was for AJ to get the setup. You can't let him get that first touch. Once he gets that first touch to himself, there's nobody else who can challenge him and even get a piece of the ball because the control is that much in favor of AJ, and he's able to set up the play exactly how he wants to. Version1 need to extend themselves a little bit more forward and be more aggressive. It's a difficult thing to do, though, because they don't have the boost to move up, Jorby. So what's the question here? What is the answer, and how do they fix this one?
It's tough for Version1. One part of their game that has gotten them so many wins is the transition. But their transition has been shut down in the midfield every time. They can go for the hard clear, but one of FaZe are going to be there every time. And now FaZe going to wait for Beast Mode to carry this out, but then AJ's there. They're closing down the attacking third. And there's another one! Typical picks up two, and FaZe Clan are ripping Version1 apart.
Yeah, look at the speed. Here comes AJ, 150-50 win. Then demos Torment, who is trying to keep the ball to himself. Typical is ready, waiting in the midfield, knows the demo's going to come out, and then strikes when he needs to.
I'm not sure what the answer is for Version1 right now,
Turtle. It's so difficult.
Like you said, I mean, I feel like there have been moments where they've gotten control of the boost, but then they don't have control of the ball, and they have to respect Faze. But there they find a gap. Beast Mode scores, and Version1 stop the bleeding.
And maybe this is the answer that they've been looking for, finding ways to intercept passes in the midfield. And you'll notice, look at the positioning from Beast Mode. He's being aggressive. He's not rotating all the way back. He intercepts that pass, and because of that, gets a free shot on the net. More of that from Version1 is needed instead of prioritizing the rotation back all the way to your own net.
Beast Mode getting around the ball. And first killer scoops it back up. Flips in front to stabilize. Version1 having to contend with a Faze challenge in the blue half every time they attempt to clear it. And it comes back to the wall. Beast Mode almost gave it up, and Calm saved it with a demo. Now he's got the pop against First Killer. First Killer's not going to bite. No boost for Calm either. Torment, quick shot, and got the goal! A little bit of lead behind that one, tying the game.
And this shot was so well executed. There were two goalkeepers in net, but it doesn't matter. With this placement, with this power, Torment is going to find the back of the net. And that was just flawless work from Version1, finally connecting on offense and connecting with the shot.
Torment has had a great tournament so far.
Oh, absolutely.
And then in the last series, Torment was a big reason why they ended up winning that game, not just for his defensive efforts, but also on offense. We're seeing Torment score more goals than you might used to be seeing lately. As Calm going to try to find that push downfield. Now Torment, the go-ahead guy. Calm gets deleted on the play. Faze are starting to match that physicality on Version1, deleting that follow-up guy and generating pressure that much more difficult.
There's still a lot of space, though, for Faze Clan in the midfield. We just saw AJ with so much space to work with, but he didn't opt to go for the midfield pass. That's where I can get a bit concerned for Faze Clan. If they're given this space, but they continue to go for solo plays, that's exactly what Version1 are intending for Faze Clan to do. They think that Faze Clan are just going to keep going for solo plays, and if you fall into that trap, it's not going to be good. But Beast Mode is able to find a corner boost and at least start some offensive pressure. This is the most we've seen out of Version1. They've already got 5 shots compared to last game's 1.
And I thought that play was starting to be well designed, but then Beast Mode let the ball drop. There was no follow-up afterwards. The initial touch from Calm was good. Torment might have the shot. Calm picks up a demo on the back end. Beast Mode's up next, puts it around the corner. First Killer's there to take it away. Torment next up again. Now Version1 are starting to press a lot more, but Beast Mode leaves the rotation, and actually the ball comes right back to him, so no harm, no foul.
Wow.
First Killer getting in the neutral zone. Calm and Torment ensure that ball just doesn't roll right back into a Faze bumper. It's a battle for control. Calm trying to get the bump on the Typical. Not going to find the connection. We're locked in again. Version1 have answered the 2 goals from Faze, and now Faze has to find a way to respond. Here's Torment diving in front. And nothing developing here on these 50s.
The neutral zone is much more even, I'd say, at this point, Jorby. We're seeing bigger clears go the distance from both sides. Faze Clan has definitely been more panicked and more pressured this game, I'd say, than the entire series so far. But we've got the final 10 seconds left. Version1 putting in work on the offensive side, but need to be careful. Those 1v1 plays, unless they could end it here. It was a good 50-50 attempt, but Faze Clan is too fast, and they send us to OT.
This OT might be the worst thing to happen to Version1, because if Faze win this kickoff, it might be impossible to get out in the blue half. AJ gonna put that out to the far side. First Killer tries to crash in front, but Calm gonna take that momentum right back. Got the touch, and it's saved by AJ. Beast Mode not done. Got the touch out again. Typical hard clear out, but there is no Version1 challenge in the midfield. They're gonna let that ball come back, and they're gonna try again from their own third.
Jorby, I agreed with you off the kickoff. I thought we'd see Version1 get buried in their own half, but it's all thanks to Calm and that lovely solo dribble out of his own half. He got around, I believe, 2 players, then put a shot on net. And look at him go again, putting in work for his team. He's in the backfield here. But if you're the third man back, you give space away to AJ, it might as well be over. Pack your bag. You're headed to match point.
Torment, you see him jump a little too far under the ball. First Killer had the better angle on the 50, and Calm, he tried to race back, but the ball just skipped out in the perfect spot for AJ. And Faze Clan, another big victory here against Version1. Try as they may on defense, and a lot more offense there from Version1 with 9 shots on net, but still couldn't get it done.
This This is incredible. I didn't expect this series to go this way at all. I mean, I could totally and 100% see FaZe Clan winning the first game, maybe the second one, but you think in this third game, Version1 can figure something out, and they slowly started to chip away at the offense. You can see their FaZe Clan were pressed, 2 goalkeepers in net, rotations a little bit off, but then they got watered down with their shots. The third man, like Calm in that last moment, started pushing a little bit too far back again, and they gave away space to FaZe Clan, Jorby. It's a consistent habit that Version1 keep falling into.
Well, that's why I felt like at the end of regulation, when they had the pressure, they were staying in the attacking third. They were winning those crucial touches. They were controlling the midfield boost, but they couldn't actually get those the better shots on net. FaZe's defense has been excellent. Their goaltending has been excellent. Version1 have had so many troubles, and sure, Version1 have gotten a couple of goals, but they have not had a fun time in the orange half. And FaZe one away. No tactical timeout from Version1, by the way. They're just gonna play on. And FaZe, one more from sweeping their way into their second grand finals appearance of the season.
To be honest with you, I think that's the right move here. I mean, you're already on match point. You don't want to dilly-dally any longer and waste more and more time. I think a reset would be somewhat nice, but with how close that last game was, I would just throw themselves into this next game and try to start some momentum as quickly as possible, because it's going to be a long journey if you're going to reverse sweep in a best-of-7 against the FaZe Clan, where their offense looks this good and their defense is rock solid.
And I certainly think Version1 have tried multiple methods to get by this FaZe team. You've seen a couple times, like Beast Mode, he'll go for a reset, but then he'll go down and Calm will just take the ball, or vice versa, whatever. Either way, they're trying to shade their approach to the ball and maybe force FaZe into an unfavorable 50 situation. And it's worked some of the time, but they just haven't been able to do it consistently to where they're generating that pressure.
Well, it's unbelievable, too, because Version1, they haven't been showing their hand. They have been using and implementing different strategies where FaZe Clan shouldn't be able to predict what's going to happen. And I do believe we actually have a pause in the game. We're going to figure out what's going on and get right back into the action. But this is great because I wanted to talk about what Version1 are doing. They're throwing multiple strategies. They're going for demos, Jorby. We've seen solo plays from Beast Mode. We've seen Calm get very physical as that aggressor, but it's almost like they only use and implement one strategy at a time. It's really difficult for them to blend it all together and work like a well-oiled machine, similar to how FaZe Clan are doing here.
Yeah, FaZe, they've gone to the physical game, not all the time, but some of the time when it's benefited them, when they've lost the neutral zone. You'll see First Killer take the demo on the follow-up guy on Version1. How do you beat a team that is... You pull out a different weapon, right? You pull out the handgun, and then FaZe bring out the RPG. It's like, what are you supposed to do? You're not going to win that. And FaZe have just been, they've been too good for Version1 to handle. The Version1 mistakes early on that we saw in game one led to things kind of snowballing out of control. Version1 were able to respond several times. A couple of these games have gone to OT. We see those incredible saves from Version1, but when we've been talking about Version1, that's all we've been talking about, Turtle, is their defense.
Well, and FaZe Clan have done a good job of not getting too desperate. That I always talk about this whenever it gets to a point where a team is so dominant on offense. And that's when I get scared, because we saw that individual game where FaZe Clan literally had all of the pressure and Version1 had maybe one shot compared to FaZe Clan's 8 or 9 shots. And that's where I got concerned for FaZe Clan, because if you're unable to put away these shots, then you're subject to getting too desperate, over rotating, overextending, and then one transition and your game is over. And because of that, it's going to be very painful and difficult for them to get back into the series. But that never happened. FaZe Clan continued to stay very patient, were waiting in the midfield, knew that they had to show up on defense, and it felt like, and it feels like, they expected this from Version1. They expected the defense to be strong. They knew that they don't need to overcommit or double commit on offense. Just be patient, and eventually those opportunities will keep coming.
And we are going to be making a new lobby, so this is going to take us a minute to get everything set up. We're going to get the players in, make sure the players are happy with the lobby, and then once that is all approved and good to go, we will get Game 4 restarted and underway with a new server. So we appreciate your guys' patience at home as we start Championship Sunday with a potential sweep by FaZe Clan.
Right?
I mean, look, they already took down NRG in a best of 5. They did it twice, by the way, last tournament as well. Then NRG did it. What am I thinking? I'm sorry. Faze were 0-4 against NRG until this tournament. I don't know why I'm trying to rewrite history, okay? I'm not. And then they beat G2. They were 0-5 against G2. You're telling me that Faze was 0-5 against G2, and then they beat G2 and NRG in the same tournament where they never have beaten these teams, and they're not going to sweep version 1 right now? They look like the better team right now.
I can't see it. In my brain, in my 4 IQ brain, I just expected this to be a better matchup for version 1 because I truly didn't have the respect for FaZe Clan to be patient and discomposed. I literally didn't, because they haven't made it to a grand finals. They've been struggling against the top of the line teams here in North America. But for them to come out here and just be so patient and composed in the offensive line, not double commit. It's rare that we even see mistakes in the rotations from FaZe Clan. It's just so fundamentally consistent from FaZe Clan, and that's why I'm so impressed. That's why I think they're able to be this consistent and not drop that third game, which was probably the turning point. If V1 were to win that third game, we might be saying something different here. But because FaZe Clan stayed strong, I don't want to see a sweep, though. I just don't want to see it, Jorby.
I feel you.
No way.
I feel you, Turbo.
There's no way.
I know, man. I know.
We're only casting a certain amount of series a day. I want I want a full game 7 here, okay? All the way.
Look, man, sometimes this is just how the games are played. And FaZe just gotta dominate sometimes.
It's true. It's true. It's fun to watch.
How do you think the FaZe fans are feeling right now? You know, to them, this is the best, right? Yeah. For version 1 fans, maybe not so much, although I think you still can hang your hat on the fact that your team's going to London. So that's pretty nice, right? FaZe looks so good right now, though. This is honestly when Typical joined the team, and everyone's like, "All right, this is the super team like we wanted. This is the one." And then they couldn't really put it together the way that I think people looking at FaZe wanted them to, which is still an impressive record. Top 4 all the time. Like, how many teams can do that?
Come on,
they're the only one.
It takes time.
They're the only one. Go ahead.
And they didn't get frustrated. Jorby. Listen, they continue to make top 4, and they didn't get frustrated. They didn't do a complete 180 with their play style. They didn't shift everything. I'm sure they could tell that they were slowly chipping away at these top tier teams, and now we are seeing the results of hard work, patience, and persistence out of FaZe Clan. We are going to get back into match point, 3:54 on the clock, and we're going to start from a kickoff. And we got version 1 dominating the kickoff and starting off strong, but they're going to need to do this for 4 games in a row, Jorby.
I'm just going to point out a small detail that totally matters and has implications. The server we're on is called Torment, and Beast Mode puts in the first goal. Version 1 have the lead.
Server bias, 100% guaranteed. Beast Mode, you can see it in the corner. I don't know how we got that read, too. That was such a weird one going directly down FaZe Clan's defense. A very uncharacteristic lapse in rotation, which we're not used to seeing this series. Maybe that continues on. And a good start for version 1.
You saw the smiles from Com. Is Com ever not giggling? I'm pretty sure Com could be losing 9-0 and still be laughing. Like, how am I losing 9-0?
Oh,
what a shot from Typical. Beats Beast Mode to the ball. He's tied up.
And if you see Beast Mode in the net, there's always a chance that he gets the save. That's not the best touch either from Com. I think he got bumped too from First Killer into it, and it bounced off the backboard. And look at the accuracy from Typical, able to punish and capitalize on that mistake.
A chance for version 1 to try to hold the lead for a little bit, but they spent no time getting scored on. Com gonna get underneath this. Beast Mode gonna play Headhunter, but wasn't nearly enough. AJ with no boost, able to make the stop. First Killer whips back around against Beast Mode. AJ gonna pump it back to him. This time Torment gets into the neutral zone, knocks First Killer off the ball.
What a bounce from the corner too. I'm watching Com's perspective. I want to see what he's gonna do in this game individually, because I think he's got to put in a lot of work. Beast Mode has answered and been that star player for version 1. He's gotten the saves. He's of course been a powerhouse on offense, but I want to see more from Com. There's a shot from the other player I didn't even want to mention, Torment.
AJ gonna get that clear out. First Killer gets deleted. And another demo for Com. But those demos only matter so much when you can't get control of the ball. AJ keeps the ball in the blue half all by himself, effectively nullifying the demo, but AJ gonna get this ball again. Version 1 got the 50.
So much.
2 players tied up, and Beast Mode just retreats. They're expecting that boomer or just an air dribble from Faze. They're expecting Faze to move that ball quickly. And Faze just taking their time. You know, it's another walk around Manfield. No problem. Or DFH, wherever we are. Utopia. That's where we are. Thank you. I know my maps. Beast mode. Pre-jumping Calm. Calm drops it, and Torment tried to dive for it, but Typical takes it out.
I've got my hands in the air. How does Typical even read that? I think we did get a pre-jump from Calm, and Typical is still in the way of the pass. And look at this space. Look at how much space Typical has. He can take this ball all the way up to the ceiling. Calm is going for a demo, but it doesn't matter because FaZe Clan can still recover in time and find a way to bury out of this one. That one is a good play. A triangle setup pass from everybody, but FaZe Clan still all tied up.
It's such a good idea. Torment just put it a little high. Placement could have gave Version1 the lead. Now first killer, a little bit of space on the dribble. Beast mode right on top of it, breaking up that play. Beast mode, no boost, pops it over to Calm. First killer dives in front. Also AJ on the commit, but there's FaZe still in control. Typical gets bumped off, but AJ's downfield. First touch, second touch. Oh my goodness! Payday for AJ!
I did not think this was even possible. This angle gotta be one of the tightest shots. Barely any opening for AJ, but he still makes it work.
That was utterly filthy. What? AJ, if you win this, you need to go take a shower, my dude, because that was just disgusting. And there it is again.
Bro.
First killer and Typical fused together, and they get another goal.
Okay. And now we got to talk about the first touch from first killer. Did you see that around the defender? It went behind him. He was able to 180, rotate back on the wall, and then get the follow-up shot. This is insane stuff, Joby. I'm losing my mind at what we're seeing from FaZe, man.
They're straight strutting on the pitch right now, man.
We don't even have time to process. We don't have time to process the AJ shot. And then we're getting this from first killer, and we're still talking about it, and now Typical comes through. There's no time for anybody, especially Version1.
Everybody getting involved on the offense for FaZe. Typical, that's his second. AJ and first killer also picking up a goal themselves. And you look at that, the shot differential here. FaZe have 4 shots. FaZe have 4 goals. You don't get much better than that.
Yeah, this is crazy stuff from FaZe Clan. Grand finals, waiting for them. Beast mode is sliding on. What? You're giving up? It's a minute left and this man just sliding down. I don't blame him with what we just saw from FaZe Clan, to be honest.
You're not familiar with the Turtle 50 strats?
I'm sorry.
It's literally named after you, bro.
It's the new meta. You're right. I should be aware of it.
How do you not know? Calm, non-touch there, and taking it away. FaZe doing a victory lap around Utopia. And it's, you know, everyone's clinched for the major already, right? This is all for seeding and prizing. You can still get a good chunk of change upwards, making the grand finals. But this is more than just seeding for FaZe. This is more than just a little bit more money. This is a statement. We wrecked NRG. We dismantled G2, and we absolutely dominated Version1, sweeping their way into the grand finals for the second time this season. First time with Typical, and they'll keep the ball up for as long as possible, as is the gentleman's agreement with the oldest rule in Rocket League.
Yes, sir.
And finally, FaZe confirm their victory and head to the grand final.